And Daniel and I met about a year and a half ago, playing golf together, and got to know each other. And then he wrote a book, and the book is what we're going to talk about today. It's called Life Recalibrated. And I read it in literally like 2 sittings. It was well written, but more than that, it was impactful. And if you know me, you know that I like to surround myself with impactful motherfuckers. So that's why we're here. I want to welcome my guest, Daniel Ferguson. Daniel, thanks for being here, buddy. Hey, everybody. I'm Eric Obrempt, and you're listening to Be Authentic or Get the Fuck Out. We talk about real shit, what's on our minds, and don't give a fuck if it makes you feel a little uncomfortable. So sit back, strap in, and get ready for some real shit. If you're serious about getting your time back and scaling your business, then SMA Support Services is your secret weapon. I use SMA for all of our support and admin tasks. Everything from back office management, day-to-day admin, even a call center. Their team frees up my staff to stay focused on high-level, revenue-generating activities. And that, let me tell you, is a fucking game changer. SMA isn't just support. They're a partner that keeps our operations running smooth and efficiently. So if you want to focus on growing your business and leave the support work to the pros, hit up SMA Support Services. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Be Authentic or Get the Fuck Out. I'm your host, Eric Obrempt. Yeah, this is going to be fun. I'm ready to, like you said earlier, I'm ready to fucking play golf.
Yeah, well, and that's how we met, right?
Right.
We played 16 holes and didn't say a word to each other, pretty much because we were in a match play.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it was the first time we played. Remember, we both played the worst golf that we'd played all year, and we ended on 17.
Yes, we had a fucking pillow fight. We had a fucking pillow fight, and someone had to win.
Yeah, somebody.
That was basically all it was, is that somebody had to win.
Somebody had to be the worst loser.
Yes.
Right? And I think that was me at that day.
It was, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You got me probably the next time. So
yeah, it was all good.
It is what it is. But so I'm excited because I got to tell you, like I don't ever expect to actually like anyone's book.
Yeah,
I've got friends that have written books. Obviously, I just wrote a book that's coming out and within 30 days. I think we're doing the book launch.
Awesome.
And I'm super excited about it. But like, it's always weird when a friend of yours does write a book and then gives you and then you buy the book comes. You're excited to read it, but you're also not, because you're afraid of what if it's shit?
Yep.
Because what am I going to say then? And then you call me and are like, dude, give me, like, I want real feedback. I want, give me the real truth, blah, 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 blah.
Don't sugarcoat it.
But here's the thing with that, because I don't know how many fucking people you said the same thing to, right? But I started talking to other friends about this, and I'm like, I don't want that kind of fucking feedback on a book unless I'm writing another fucking book.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Because what am I going to do with that fucking information?
Yeah. If you don't like it, I guess
you know what
I'm
I mean?
fucked.
Like, what the fuck? What are we going to do about that?
Right.
Like, I really struggle with that because, like, with the podcast, it's like, oh, okay, I had a bad show. Fuck it. Like, give me some feedback so I can make the next one better.
Sure.
But feedback only fucking works if there's a way to fix something.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And like, unless you have a plan of writing another book, which you might.
I don't know. I don't know.
It was a lot of work, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a lot of work. You kind of put yourself out there and you cram a bunch of ideas into one. You're like, well, where's it going to go next?
Yeah.
Do I really want this to become the thing?
Right.
And I think you and I talked about this. I have like a little bit of imposter syndrome too.
Yeah,
like, who the hell's going to read this shit? Who's going to care?
Yeah.
And then the feedback from friends has been pretty positive.
Yeah.
But I went to only people that I knew would actually give me the real feedback.
Yeah.
So I didn't tell everybody that, but I'm like, all right, who are the people that would
I would have if I thought there was some shit in there, right? Like I would have, but I just really struggle with that conversation with myself of like, because if I ask somebody that and it's like, and they tell me, I didn't like that chapter. Well, what the fuck do you want me to do about it now?
Sure. Yeah. And the thing that's funny is the chapters I thought that were good were like, oh, those were good. And then the ones that I'm like, I felt like that one was put in there. Didn't really think anybody would like it. It's the one that everybody's like, I love that section.
Really?
That's been the craziest thing for me. Was I'm like, that's what you picked up from it? And
That's
it was
annoying too, though, because you're like you fucking dove into the ones that you love.
Oh yeah,
You
like
know?
I put myself out there.
Yes.
I'm thinking they're going to be like, it's like me cleaning the
You
house.
thought you were going to change some motherfucker's life with that chapter.
Well, yeah, it's like I cleaned the house and my wife comes home. She's like, "You didn't take out the trash." I'm like, "What? Fuck you! Gotta be kidding me! You missed everything else that I did."
That's crazy. So you got a decent amount of that.
Yeah, a lot actually.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. It was a one section that shocked me the most was how much people stopped connecting with their kids.
Okay. Well, I'm surprised that you would quantify that as like a put-in chapter.
I felt like it was really preachy, and that wasn't the intent. Like when I read it back, I'm like, it's like in the final edit, I'm like, I don't really like it. It sounds good, but it sounds like I'm talking at people.
Yeah.
And I didn't want it to be like that. I wanted to be a little bit more like vulnerable. Like, hey, here's where I'm at. Like, here's what I'm trying to do to fix it. Like, because all of it is like ongoing, right? It's like, this isn't like I've mastered it and I'm a psychologist. I was like, here's what I was doing with it. But that one felt like I was judging people.
I've got a chapter like that. And I actually stayed in there. If you use your organized religion to judge me, you can go fuck yourself.
Right. Yeah.
And I read it like 9 times and I'm like, how do I say this so that it lands the way that I want it? Because it's not me saying fuck you. It's me saying, if you judge me, fuck you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And so anyway, but so I know that feeling, right? Because I wonder, because that one's either like that chapter for me, and it's not a whole chapter. It's like fucking 2 paragraphs, but that whole thing for me is either going to alienate fucking an entire population, which I'm fine with.
Yep.
Or I'll have people be like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, all I want is people to get it.
That's how I wanted people to come across with that specific chapter.
And tell people what that chapter was about, since obviously you're getting good feedback on it.
Yeah. So it was all about being intentional.
Yeah.
And I talked about how much opportunity is like right in front of us. And the old me would, let's just say pick the kids up from school, or take them to a sporting event or a practice. And I'd be like, hey, I got to return a few calls. And they'd be like on their phone, or I'd have like very unauthentic, genuine like shitty conversations with kids. They'd be like, how's school? Good. How's your day? Great. And I'm like, okay, like I guess I got the answers I needed, but I was asking like one word answers to questions. Right. And so I stopped asking closing questions and was asking open-ended questions, and just started talking to him, and we'd shut the radio off.
Yeah.
And then I bought a box of conversation cards. And this is the one thing that everybody's like, hey, I bought my cards. Yeah. I'm like, fuck, I need to get some royalties out of this. I need to call the company.
No
like,
shit, right?
Because I've had so many people reach out, like, where did you get conversation cards?
I literally was going to text you that, to be completely honest, like, because I love that chapter.
Yeah. And it was like when I got in the car and I just started like asking my kids questions, and you start to realize how much they're not having those conversations ever. Like we grew up with no technology, right? I don't want to do the whole old days shit again, but
yeah, we had fucking Nintendo.
Yeah. And so when you don't have that, and then all of a sudden you're getting this, you're getting closing questions with kids, and you feel like you're being a good parent. And then once I started asking like questions about like, what kind of animal would you be? Like just stupid stuff. They started talking, and my teenagers were the ones that were like, hey, let's get the cards out. And I was like, no shit. Like my 14-year-old daughter and her friend and my 13-year-old, we drove to Florida. That's what I put in the book. And they wanted to pull the cards out, and we did 4 hours of conversations with no radio with kids.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, that's weird. Like,
tell the story, the one that really sat with me, right? Like you always read a book and there's like one thing that you like, not that there's only one thing you take from it, but there's one thing that like really fucking lands, that when you talk to other people, you were like, this was the story, right?
Yep.
And the one that I got out of it was, because I related to it so much, because I try to do the same thing, was the story about when you were on vacation and what you did on that last day.
Oh yeah.
Like I really liked that. If you tell that story.
So I think almost every person faces it, that when you get to the end of a trip that you've been building up for, you have those like last day blues that hit you in the morning. And I've chosen over the last probably 5 or 6 years at minimum, where when we're getting done on that last day, like I fight that urge. And so I try to do something like, if we get to the airport, I'll go grab a glass of champagne, just do something, just like break it up a little bit. But I can see the kids were all moping around like, it's the last day. We got to start packing. And they were like wearing street clothes. And I was in the pool listening to music, enjoying it. And my wife was kind of sitting down there with me. And so I called the kids. I said, hey, everybody come down. And I'm sitting in the pool. And
this is like the day before you fly out.
We drove home.
Oh.
So they were thinking the next day we have an 18-hour drive home because we drove all the way home in one day. That's part of our tradition. So we drive 18 hours. I drove home.
Where?
From Port St. Joe, Florida to Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Get home at like 2 a.m, leave at like 8 a.m. So.
Wow. Anyway, so you called them over to the pool.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, but they're feeling that, right? They're like, oh, I got an 18-hour drive. Who's going to ride with who? Because we have a 6-year-old. We had 2 vehicles. And I just said, I go, guys, sit down for a second. So I had my 22-year-old son, 2 15-year-old girls, a 13-year-old and a 6-year-old. And I said, I go, I want you guys to close your eyes for a second. And they like kind of closed their eyes and they had one eye open because I think they thought I was like going to pull them in the pool, right? And I was like, no, seriously, close your eyes. I go, take this serious for a second. I go, what I want you to do is I want you to think that it's December 10th, okay? Sideways wind, just like we had a couple weeks ago, right? 100-degree shift in a week or whatever, but sideways wind, snow's on the ground, it's dirty, it gets dark at 5 o'clock, it's miserable, like you just feel like gross. All you want to do is get underneath covers and just forget that you're in December. I go, and let's just say a portal opened and you walk through that portal and you were on the front porch of our VRBO is called Water Song. And so that's like, it's been our traditional place. And so I said, and you're on the porch of Water Song and you got 10 minutes before that portal closes. What are you doing? And they all just started smiling. And my one daughter goes, I'd run to the beach and go dive in the ocean. And I'm like, yeah, me too. And I'm like, how good does that sun feel? They're like, oh, it feels amazing. I go, yeah, because you're there. I go, why does it feel like you started today? Like you walked through that portal to December 10th. Mm-hmm. It's like you're depressed. I go, instead of having 10 minutes, you have 10 hours. Mm-hmm. Stop wasting it. Go live it up. And they literally, 3 of them just ran straight to the beach in street clothes and just dove in. And then all of a sudden, like all this weird shit started happening. We were next to this couple and like family, parents and grandma, grandpa. All week, they were fishing all week. And we got to know them, but they never had asked all week, which wasn't their fault. But they're like, hey, do your girls want to try fishing? And they're like, no way, we'd love to. And they ended up catching a couple stingrays and shit. My 6-year-old like connected with their granddaughter and they were playing in the pool all day. But the biggest one was, and this is no bullshit, I got video of it. That last day, like 2 days before that, my daughter said, we've seen so much wildlife this year. Like we saw dolphins, we saw their stingrays are just like, or jellyfish, sorry, were coming up on the beach. They were just like coming in droves, everything. And I said, she goes, but the one thing we never saw is a sea turtle. Like those are so rare to see though. Like, I mean, where we're at, like you have to go out there a little bit, right? Know where to go to see them. And that last night then we were playing volleyball on the beach. She hit a ball over my head and I went to go pick it up. And I looked down the beach and there's this, like it looked like a huge rock. And I saw it moving and the sun was going down. And I just took off running and they started coming with me. And this sea turtle was enormous. It was on the beach. It was going up there to lay eggs or check on its eggs.
Yeah.
And it saw us. And so it turned around. I felt bad because it turned around and started going back in the ocean. But we had so many people that were from there that are like, we're locals. We've never seen one on land. It's like super rare thing to do. Like they have like sea turtle sightings. Like you see them, you're like, you got to report it.
Right.
And I told them, I said, what did you learn from that? Like the next day I was like, what'd you learn? They go,
did you have plenty of time to talk on your 18-hour fucking drive home?
There's a lot of conversation cards. I know that really bothers you about that. No,
it really does.
Yeah. So, but no, like all of them, even my 6-year-old, because I took the 6-year-old and the 2 15-year-olds with me on the way home. And they were like, we would have wasted that whole day if we would have been moping around. Like sometimes you got to just be where you are.
Yeah. Be where your feet are.
Yeah. It's so hard to do.
Yeah. I talk about that a lot. Whether it's like in the podcast or it's, like a lot of my social media stuff, it revolves around being present. Right. And I also have an entire chapter on being present, because it's such a lost, I don't want to call it a lost art, but it's a lost, what is the word? It's a lost, skill.
Yeah.
Skill.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But it's a lost skill because there's so much fucking noise, right?
So much
in the world right now. Whether it's polarizing shit, whether it's politics, whether it's health and wellness, whether it's whatever it is, like it's so fucking noisy, and we're not taking the time to actually to be in the moment that we're actually experiencing. Which is why, like, I have the thing on Sundays, right, with my daughter, like every fucking Sunday. That's it. Like, she understands it. She understands now why we do it, because she's old enough now. Like, she actually understands. And it's like, we're there. We're not on our phones. You know what I mean? Like, we're being, because
so hard.
Because we have to, like, one day we're going to wish we had those moments back. Right. And
1,000%.
those are the regrets that I don't want to have.
Well, and that's the thing, is that's why I feel like the book it's hitting so many people, because I relate to them where I'm not like a specialist in this area. And, but yet it's just like almost this guilt component that everybody's carrying around, where they're like, I need to be better with my kids on social media, or being on my phone or whatever. But I'm like, we're never where we're supposed to be. We're at work thinking about home stuff. We're at home thinking of work stuff. And that's like one thing I've enjoyed about like our connection is when we go golf, like we go fucking golf.
Right.
We're like talking to each other. We're like actually having conversations.
Yeah.
And I'm not sitting there and you're not like, hey, let me respond to this real quick, or let me do X, Y, Z, or hey, I gotta go jump on a call. Like, I hate golfing when people are always on their phone on the side.
Yes.
I'm like,
drives me fucking
drives
crazy.
me nuts.
Yeah.
And so like I normally just keep the phone in the thing. I don't care. I'll deal with it when I'm done.
Yeah. I literally talk about this in my book as well, is that I have a story that, when I started dating my wife, I told her, I said, hey, look, here's the deal. I don't drink anymore. So like, you never have to worry about me not coming home. You never have to worry about me not being there for dinner. You never have to worry about like where I'm at or anything like that. But there's one thing that I do. I play golf. And when I golf, I don't fucking text and I don't fucking call you, and we don't have conversations. That's my 4 hours to go do my thing and to like decompress. And if I don't get to enjoy that time, then when I get home, I'm pissed off because I didn't get to enjoy that time. So let me enjoy that time. Don't fucking call me unless the house is burning down. And even if it is burning down, I can't really do much about it. Call the fire department. I'll be there when I'm done with my round, right? Like, there's nothing I can do. So let me just have that time, right? Unless something's wrong with Tegan, don't call me.
Same thing.
And it's like, that seems crazy today to like have that conversation. Like, that seems fucking insane to other people to be like, you tell your wife not to call you when you're golfing. Like, fuck yes, that's my time.
Yeah. I don't ask for a lot of it.
No.
Right.
No, I barely ask for any.
Exactly.
Right. But that and also work. Right. So like when I'm working, I'm working.
Yep.
When I'm at work, that's what I'm fucking doing. So if you call me, have a purpose behind the call, because I'm going to assume if that phone rings and I see your name, it's important. So don't call me just to fucking chit chat.
Exactly.
That's not what we're doing. We'll do that when I get home. And I'm only going to be able to do that if I can get done what I need to get done during that day. Because if I'm interrupted 97 fucking times at work, then when I come home, I still have to fucking work.
Yeah. Right.
Because I still got to get done what I didn't get done because I was fucking interrupted 87 goddamn times during the day.
Exactly.
You know,
and then you get it when you get home too, because now you're working while you're at home, and it's like, gosh, I just want to be here. I'm like, well, I was trying to be here.
And I think that that's the trick to it. I think that that's the trick to it for people listening, is like, you have to set the boundaries so that they can have the intentional time that everybody wants, right? Like your wife and your daughters and your sons and your kids, like they all want that time with dad or whoever, right? Whoever you are to your people, they want to have that time with you, but you can only give it to them if you're giving the time to the people where you're at the other time.
Exactly.
Right? Like if I'm not able to give my full attention to my people here in this office, right, while I'm here, then I'm going to have to fucking give it to them when I'm at home. Right. So, but if I set the boundaries with the work people and with the fucking home people and say, when I'm there, I'm there.
Yep.
When I'm here, I'm here. Right. And I am not fucking perfect
Nobody
at this
is though.
at all, right?
It's
like
hard. It's impossible to be perfect.
right. But if we're actually trying, I think that puts us in the top fucking 0.5% of the population.
Yeah. Exchange the word perfect for intentional.
Yeah.
I'm very intentional.
Yes.
Doesn't mean it's always going to go exactly as planned. But
because we'll play golf in fucking 3 weeks and I guarantee I'll fucking have to take one fucking text message because something happened. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like guarantee.
Yep.
But I also know, and I love our golf carts at the club because it's got that little up high.
Absolutely.
Right.
So I don't have to go grab it.
And I forget that it's up there and I fucking leave it there the whole time. But when it's down there, I reach for it.
Yep.
Right. Just like I do when I'm diving. I don't know if I've told you this story, but so I scuba dive a lot. Right.
Okay.
And
I didn't know that actually.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, because part of my mastermind is I take guys scuba diving.
Okay.
Right. So Exhale is my trip that I take guys on and we go down to Cayman. Right. So anyway, when I go dive though, the first dive of every trip, when I jump in the water without fail, every time I start descending down and I pat my pocket.
The habit.
Every fucking
Do you feel
time.
like a phantom vibrate?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. Yeah.
100%, but only on like the first dive. After I get through the first dive, it's gone. Right.
Okay.
And I'm there.
Yep.
Right. But that first dive for like the first 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, I'm patting. I feel the phantom vibration. I've felt that 100 times. I'm like, oh fuck, I left my phone in my pocket.
Yep.
And I didn't, obviously, like, cause I'm not retarded. Like I fucking,
Right.
I put it in my fucking bag.
Yeah.
But yeah, every time. And so it just shows you how powerful that is. Right. And getting something out of sight, right? Just that little simple thing of like, when we play golf, the fact that we have in those golf carts, that upper fucking shelf to hide my fucking phone and put it on do not disturb. It's amazing.
It's amazing how much use that gets. Everybody does it.
I almost need to go find now that I think about it, I almost need to go find an old iPod because we play our music on our phone.
Yeah.
And so we're checking our phone to change the music.
Sure.
And then we're seeing text messages or emails come through. And then you automatically, I'm already here, so I'll take a look at it, right?
It's just something quick. I mean, he's in there grabbing something to drink anyway, so why not?
Right. But I almost need to like go get a fucking, or completely turn off all Wi-Fi on it and like cell service and just bring an iPad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just
so that messages can't pop up or anything like that on the iPad, and then link the iPad to our speaker.
But
Right?
we're being intentional, and we still have to set up like all these different ways.
So imagine if you're not.
Oh my gosh! And that's the thing is like the mind is so difficult to control because all the thoughts that are going through it, and we're so driven by our right brain that our left brain is the stuff we always speak out loud to people. Like, I'm really trying to be better at this, or I really want to do that. I'm like, yeah, that's your left brain telling you what you know you should be doing, but yet the more vocal you've been about it, you're not doing it, and you're probably the worst at it. Like somebody is like, oh, my family life is great, even though it's crap, right? And they're the people that post every single day about how great their life is. I'm like, okay, they're really struggling. Like, I actually have a friend of mine who, his wife, like, if she starts blasting family photos out there of them like smiling, having fun, I'll like text him. I'm like, man, are you doing all right? He's like, yeah, shit's bad at home again. I'm like, it's so crazy. I'm like, she blasts it when things are good. Like, and it's just like,
it's always the same people too that always post the "I love you so much" and fucking put it on social media like with it's like,
he's sleeping on the couch again.
He cheated, like fucking he fucked somebody he wasn't supposed to.
But that's just the way it is.
I never believe those motherfuckers.
Oh, never,
never. Every fucking time, if you see somebody post that hard about how much they love their spouse, somebody fucking cheated. And then if they have a fucking joint Facebook account, somebody fucking 100% fucking cheated.
Right.
Every fucking time.
Or they're pictures of their kids, and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, but you're probably a very disconnected parent. They're just, they're struggling with it. And so many people struggle with it.
I hope that's not the case because I do that with mine on the weekends. But
but I post a lot of stuff. If anything, like if you look at my Instagram, because that's all I have. And I don't not have the other things because I hate them. I think they're stupid. Yeah. I know myself.
Right.
I know that I have some addictive tendencies.
Right.
And I don't care enough to know what everybody else is doing because I also know of what an impact it would have on me to be looking all day.
Yeah.
Right. And so you said boundaries, and I was like, almost like, I didn't want to like jump in there.
No, go.
but in 2025, like I start every year with a word.
Yep.
And I build my whole, like my almost like a 1 year letter around that word.
Personal or work or both?
It ties into both.
Okay.
Okay. So, the word this year is boundaries.
Oh, wow.
And it's boundaries around. And so I looked at every section of my life and I'm like, how can I make boundaries around it? Like boundaries around working out, boundaries around, time with the kids. Like you can have almost too much time with your kids where it can impact your business too, right? Like I can be at everything, but I can't be like, hey, I just want to pick you up from school every single day at 3:30 and let's like go do all this crazy stuff. Like there's gotta be boundaries or else I'm not gonna teach them anything. Right. And so like when you start to bring back, boundaries around every section, it's pretty crazy to see how much you overindulge in certain things and you normally gravitate to the one that's going the best.
Yeah.
So like if people are like really pouring into work, it's like they're probably struggling at home, unfortunately.
Sure. Yeah. I can see that.
But if people are fleeing and going home all the time, like whenever they get the chance, like, oh, the weather's supposed to be bad today, I'm probably gonna go work from home. I'm like, okay. It's almost like they're avoiding work. And I'm like, there's something going on there. It's like you could start to read through those things
100%.
pretty good. But like even golf, like I put boundaries around golf, but I also ask for boundaries in return. Same thing.
Right.
Like, hey, when I'm here, I don't ask for much. If I golf, it's during the work day where I'd normally be gone anyways. Or it's on a weekend, I have to be done by lunch. That's just my thing. Unless it's a tournament and I get 2 of those a year that I actually play in. That's it.
Yep.
But there is that night that I want to build this into the schedule. My wife's totally on board with it too, which is great because she knows it's my zen. I love golfing by myself. I love going out there like a Monday night at like 6:00 and knocking out 18 holes in 2 hours and 10 minutes alone.
Really?
I love it.
What do you love about it?
The ability to just...
Because I've tried it and I have a hard time.
Yeah. Well, I used to go out there because I would be in my head because I'm like, I don't want to play a good round and nobody's here to like be part of it.
Sure.
Or like it could feel lonely or whatnot. I just, for the longest time, I struggled being alone, which is it sounds so like, I don't want this to be like a counseling session, but like I used to not, I like being around people.
Yeah.
And now anymore, if I get the chance, I love to just be alone. By myself, I can listen to whatever music I want.
Yeah.
I can think about stuff. Like some people, like my wife loves hot yoga, like is obsessed with it. She loves it. She goes there. She disconnects from everything. She can separate. She's got an hour every single morning. She goes 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And she just disconnects from life, disconnects from phones, disconnects from anything, any thoughts, and she clears her mind. That's what solo golf does to me.
Interesting. I've tried doing the solo golf thing and I'll get through about 7 holes and I'm like, I'm good. And a lot of it for me, I think is, and again, this is probably a boring conversation for people, but like,
sure.
But on the golf side, I mean, if I go out with the mentality that I'm practicing, then I'm okay.
Yep.
And I'm like, hey, I'm going to play 2 balls. I'm going to fuck her. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
I'm practicing. What I can't do is go out and actually play around by myself.
So that I should have clarified that a lot of times I don't even finish. And that used to be so hard for me because I hate it. Like, it's almost like psychology.
Like I don't keep score.
I don't. I'm like, that was a good shot, or I'm like, I'll try something that I normally wouldn't try here. Maybe I'll hit a flop shot where I normally hit a bump and run just to try something new.
So it's practice.
But I just get away and I don't stress about whether it's a good shot or bad shot. Or if I'm playing with somebody, you know me, like my emotions get me like, I'm like frustrated, even though I start with the intention of not getting frustrated.
Right.
Because I just don't like playing bad golf. But if I'm by myself, if I play bad golf, I don't care.
Have you done I've made myself do the old Tiger quote of when I have a bad shot, I'm allowed to give myself 10 seconds to be as mad as I fucking want, but then I have to move on.
Right.
And so I can motherfuck as much as I want for 10 seconds.
Yep.
And then I shut it off. And like, that's what I do. If you paid attention to how I play, I will do that. I'll motherfuck it for like 10 seconds.
Yep.
And then I flip a switch.
I can do that with everybody but my wife. If she goes with me and I'm like, I'll be like getting like mad and she'll be like,
really?
Yeah. She's like, you don't need it all worked up. I'm like, no, this is how I process. I'm going to be fine by the next shot. Like I'm pissed right now. And she's like, I just hate seeing you get so upset. I'm like, okay, now I'm getting upset because you told me I'm getting upset.
And
like,
it's so funny because in golf, like you play so much worse when you're upset.
oh, absolutely.
So much fucking
I'm like,
worse.
just like, oh, I'm fine. This is like, I'll be fine by the next shot because I don't care. I used to be so competitive.
Yes.
So competitive. Not anymore. I'm like, yeah, I still get frustrated. I tell people I get frustrated, I don't get mad.
Right. Yeah, that's
difference.
fair. Yeah. Back to the social media thing that you said too. Like the one thing that I changed, because obviously I still use it and I have to, like with all of this that I do and whatever. But I made a decision. I made a decision about 2 years ago that I have somebody manage like 80% of it.
Yeah.
So that the only posts that you see that are me personally are like my Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you see just a quote, like I posted something yesterday, which got so much fucking engagement. It was crazy. But I literally just made a post because I accidentally made the mistake of commenting on somebody that had a post about something industry related.
Oh,
so super boring, something stupid about fucking paying deductibles and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, look, and they're like, it's not illegal in this state and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's not a matter of it's illegal in the state, retard. I go, it's fucking a matter of if it's illegal to fucking send a fraudulent invoice to the insurance company. I'm like, you can't fucking do that.
Right.
Like they have to match up. And if they don't fucking match up and you charge your homeowner one thing and you charge the insurance company another thing, it's fucking insurance fraud.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, what about if, and I'm like, no, there's no what ifs. Like fucking, that's the fact. Like, why are we fucking arguing?
Yeah.
And I got so fucking mad and I got so annoyed. I'm like, why am I doing this? And so the next day I literally made a post and I was like, I made a mistake. I decided to comment on an industry related topic. And I realized that most of you are too stupid to fucking have dialogue with.
Yes.
So no more hashtag I'm not commenting anymore. And fucking it blew up. Like blew up. Like
really?
Mostly positive, right?
Yeah.
Like 90% positive, right? And it was hilarious. Literally, like most of the comments were like, this is fucking hilarious. This is true, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But it made me realize like, just stop. The best thing I did was I did a 2-week fast of social media with like 3 people in my coaching group.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. I was like, my level of anger was gone because I get so annoyed with dumb fucking people. And the problem is that the majority of the population is fucking dumb because they don't listen. Right. Which is why my book's called Shut the Fuck Up and Listen More, because nobody listens anymore. They only want to say what the fuck they have to say.
I talked about it in there. Said some people hear and some people listen.
Yeah.
The difference is I can hear you, but I'm already formulating my response before you're done talking.
Yes.
And listening is different. And I even as you're talking at times, I'm like, oh, I won't jump in there, but I'm like, but you're getting a point across and it's hard to not do that. But also, it's so funny, like this conversation.
You got a lot of same shit,
right? Because I talk.
I know it's written differently, but like, yeah.
But and that's what's good about when I explain the book at times, because it's like I want to make sure that people understood my point across was it's like social media. So I do dry January every January of social media and phone like habits. So if I have like something like a game, or let's say if I'm like playing Block Blast, or I'm looking at Instagram, or I'm looking at fantasy football too much, or stupid shit like that. Like dry January, going on like any app that I use very often, I just delete it out for the entire month. And by the end of the month, I have like such a better outlook on life. It's so crazy. I'm like, then why don't I do it all year? But yet I know that there's certain things like, growing the book or doing whatever. Like I have to have that. My Facebook page is ran by my office manager. My mom's like, oh, I saw this post. I'm like, Mom, what the fuck are you talking? Like, I don't use that. She's like, oh yeah. I'm like, I don't even know how to log on to my Facebook.
Are you a LinkedIn guy though?
I have LinkedIn. I think it's like, I think some people can use LinkedIn correctly. I cannot.
Yeah.
Because I have so many people that are friends. They're like, how do you know so-and-so? I'm like, I don't know. They just connect with me. It's like, I don't get anything out of it.
Yeah.
But I also put there though, that I stopped getting in arguments with idiots because they drag me down to their level and beat me with experience. Like I'm not going to have stupid conversations.
Yes.
But when they pull you down and you're like talking about like your point is the right point. Like I'm not saying like you're right, they're wrong, but you're like, I'm not getting into this battle. And it's like they drag you into the depths of stupid, ignorant conversations. And even when I started making changes, people were like, hey, we're golfing on Saturday. Like, can't your wife like just hang out with the kids or something? Like, can't you come play? I'm like, I'm not even going to fight with you. I'm just going to say, no, thanks for asking.
Right.
I'm not going to do this shit. Like,
Right.
I'm not going to have you pull me into like.
This isn't a negotiation either,
but
asshole.
it's crazy though. Like how that peer pressure for people, like when somebody's like, hey, we're going to take a shot. You want a shot? I'm like, no, I'm good. They're like, oh, come on, take a shot. Stop being a pussy. I'm like, dude, I'm 42 years old. You think I fucking care about peer pressure?
Yeah.
Call me whatever you want.
Yeah.
I don't care. That's so dumb.
People used to ask me about that after I quit drinking, right?
Sure.
And they'd be like, "Don't you, is it weird with peer pressure?" And my response is, I don't worry about peer pressure because I am fucking peer pressure.
Yeah.
I will fucking pressure you.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's
I just flip it on them, and they're like, "Oh, what does that mean?" I'm like, "I'm going to make you feel like a fucking idiot for doing whatever you're doing."
Yep, exactly.
Right? Way better than you're going to make me feel fucking stupid if that's the game you want to play. I won't start the fucking game.
Yeah.
I'll finish the bitch.
I'll win the war.
I'll fucking win. Watch me. I'm good
Absolutely.
at this. Like, I fucked with people for a really long time. Like, if I could get paid for that, I'd be wealthy, right?
Yep. Same thing, man. If like somebody's giving me shit about not going X, Y, Z, I'm like, why? It's like the same thing. It's like, go home to your family. And that's what happens over time is people start seeing that you're serious. And I'm sure you experience this all the time too, where it took a little while where I started having a lot of my friends and peers come to me. They're like, I need to be so much better at just saying no to shit like that at work. Like, how are you doing X, Y, Z? And that's when it started going where I'm like, okay, at first people were like, yeah, this is probably another thing that somebody's doing where they're going to quit drinking 6 months later, see them drinking again.
Yeah.
And when they started seeing that, like it was built in my calendar that my top priorities are going to get me, that doesn't mean that I need to neglect work or neglect social life. It just means that I have to keep my top priority in check where it's not all equal weight. But when I started saying no to things repetitively, people are like, okay, like he's serious and I need to do that. Similar to you, probably where it's like, okay, Eric's like, he's really done. Like I now people come to me like, I need to try to slow down X, Y, Z.
What's interesting about it is that like what I've also learned though, is I got so good at saying no to a lot that now I have to flip it and I have to start telling myself to say yes a little bit more.
Yes, man mentality.
Right. And so like a little bit. So for instance, like I don't know if you talked about it in the book or if you just told me this, but when you get done with a round of golf, you're like, I'm going home. Right. That's been me for the last 10, 15 years. Right. I mean, I've been sober for 15 years and as a general rule for at least the last 12 or 15, it's like I play golf and when I get done, I go home. But what I learned is that I was also missing out on that impactful 30-minute conversation with a friend afterwards by just going in and having a sit down, right? I don't have to have a beer. I just fucking sit down and have a club soda and whatever. But like, I realized that I was missing out on your 4 hours spent in a cart when you're focusing on playing a game that you're trying to do well at. You should be focusing on that, right? When you're doing that. And I was missing out on that 30 minutes of decompress with the friend that I was out playing golf with, right?
Sure.
Just to fucking download to, you know what I mean? Because you get completely different conversations and different, I mean, even like not to sound selfish, but like, that's when business opportunities arise. That's when, the relationship
1,000%.
truly flourishes and you know what I mean? And so like, I had to start telling myself like, hey, I need to commit to, I'm going to plan for an extra 30 minutes after a round to go in and sit down and have a conversation with the people that I just spent 4 hours with.
Right.
Because it's a different conversation and it's a different environment. You know what I mean? That was a hard one for me to say yes to. And now I do. Yeah.
And so it's interesting though, because I started building that in where I wasn't. Like I was teeing off at, because I play every Friday, at least during the school year. So starting in April and May, like I play every Friday because I can drop the kids off to school. I can be home, go out there, and I would go play at like 10:30 or something like that. Well, then I'd be done at 2:30, 2:45. I'd have to go get the kids from school. So I slid that up so then I could be done at 2. Like you and me and Tommy and Tim, that time that we played at the rail and we went in afterwards and had like a burger and beer. Like that was so abnormal for me.
Right.
But yeah,
and I knew it was
right. But then though, that conversation that we all had as a group, led to us going out and playing OCC with Tim later, you know,
Exactly.
and it kept, so like,
and if that conversation wouldn't have happened, we wouldn't have had that next experience together.
Exactly.
That was amazing. Right.
And I think it was because when I first wanted to stop it, what I didn't want to do was I didn't want to go golf. Like I'd play like a member gas tournament.
Yes.
And I'd play golf and we'd go and have drinks and that would turn into like 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
And so I oversteered it though.
Yes.
And so now it's like I'm curving back. And now the kids are getting older. It's easier.
Yeah.
And my wife, like she gets it. She doesn't care. And actually she'll come out and join me now afterwards because she likes, you know, she likes going out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if your wife does. My wife likes going out there.
Once in a while.
Yeah. Not all the time.
She feels like she has to get dressed up and all this shit. And I'm like, just fucking come sit down. Like nobody gives a fuck.
But
I'm like, I'm fucking sweating and like look like shit and I'm disheveled and you know, like I know I smell like ass. Like nobody fucking cares.
So I think she likes Ty too much. She likes going out there and seeing because Ty's like always like
he's a charming motherfucker.
I tell you what. So that shirt you have on, I have one.
He conned me into this.
No, he literally. I was on the putting green. I get to this story real quick because my wife was with me, and I was on the putting green, and he walks out and he goes, "Ferguson, come here." I go, "No." I go, "No." I know what you're doing. He goes, "Come here." I go, "No." And he goes, "Come in." And my wife goes, "Well, I'm going to go in with you." And he goes, "I got this shirt. I got it. I thought it would fit me perfect." He's like, "It looks like I got, you know, man, or whatever." He goes, "I want you to try it on because I think you're the only guy I know that loves white as much as me. And it's going to fit you perfect." And I put it on. And my wife goes, "Oh, yeah, you got to get that." I'm like, "You knew what you were doing, Ty." And he goes, "Oh, of course I did."
He's
I'm like,
a consummate fucking salesman.
And I'm like, $300? I'm like, "No, I don't need, I didn't need this shirt." But he,
my whole goddamn fucking closet now is fucking that logo.
I know.
The whole fucking thing. And I do every time I walk in, he's like, I got something for you. I got you a white vest.
I'm not looking.
I know you like white vests. And I'm like, I don't want another $400 white vest, motherfucker.
Right. And then you leave with a $400
white
vest.
Still fucking buy it every time. Because they're like, just put it on the account.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, we now have boundaries around the Lost Trail gift shop.
We do not have boundaries. It feels like, have you been to the Masters?
No, I've never been.
Fuck. You're fucked when you go to the Masters because when you walk in, you have to go through the gift shop.
Oh, yeah.
And the fucking gift shop is fucking like absolutely insane. And you will walk out of there and spend. So what you have to do is you walk through it and then you eyeball what you want so that at the end of the day, when you go back, you get it when you leave.
Yep.
It is impossible to spend less than $3,000.
Oh, I bet.
Like just fucking plan on it. Right.
Yep.
It's absolutely mind blowing, but like you have to make that trip. I actually won. I won the lottery one year.
Okay.
And got practice round tickets. And then a couple of buddies here wanted to go. And we used to play golf with Tom Chattel.
Okay.
And Chattel went and got like 4 more tickets for like the next day. So we could go on like, I think we went on Tuesday and Wednesday or Monday and Tuesday or something like that. But what I'll tell you is, and nobody gives a fuck about this, but what I'll tell you is when you go, book a fucking hotel early as shit. Because one of my buddies ended up at the fucking Red Roof Inn with cockroaches fucking running. Because Augusta is not a nice town.
Well, yeah, and there's a reason why
shithole.
They got a fucking tax code around it called the Augusta rule because of how it works.
Oh, really?
Do you know that? Yeah,
no.
there's like a tax rule where you can rent your house out up to 2 weeks a year, tax free. So you can rent it out.
Oh,
simply because of the Augusta rule. So for example, we talked about this. We almost did it. Whereas because normally we take because I was divorced, remarried. And so when I had my kids, my birthday is June 10th. Father's Day is right near it. So we used to plan all of our family vacations around that time. So because I had already have them both weekends already. So I'm like, let's just make that our trip. So I didn't, because my ex and I have a good relationship and I didn't want to take the kids away too much. So we were doing that. And I started realizing, I'm like, well, shit, that's the same weekend as the College World Series. I'm like, we could leave and probably rent our house for $10,000 for that 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or and fund the trip to go do something else.
Yeah.
And we thought about it, but the hassle of putting together your house for somebody else to come live there obviously is a little tacky. But yet, because Augusta gets so flooded that you can't find a good place to stay.
No, not at all. Like not even kind of
crazy.
So before we wrap this up, a question that I wanted to ask in the beginning of the episode was, I want you to tell everybody why you wrote the book, because a lot of people have written books. Some of them do it for ego, right?
Yep.
I had to fight myself to make myself understand that I wasn't doing it for that reason.
Yep.
Right. And I don't know if you have any stories about that, but like when you sat down and you're like, I need to do this, right? What was your why behind doing it? So that, because I think that that resonates with people to give them a reason to go get it.
So let me break it up in tranches. First,
In what?
In different tranches.
What the fuck is a tranche?
Like a segment.
Is that a word?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Tranches.
Hold on. Fuck you.
TRAUNCHES.
TR.
Like the first tranche is coming, like the first block. It's almost like block. Yeah. Tranches.
Tranches.
You're going to look this up and you're going to be like, man, this motherfucker's smart as hell.
A tranche is a portion or installment of a larger whole.
Installment. Yep.
Motherfuck. I've never heard of that word in my life. If anybody listening to this show has heard of the word tranche, like, I don't know if we can be friends because, like, I only surround myself with people as dumb as me.
Burn the friendship card. Then we're done.
You're way too smart to be friends with me.
Smart, 'cause I know tranches.
Yes, I've never. I consider myself fairly intelligent. I've never fucking heard that word.
Well, that's actually most of the time, like when people are getting stocked, they're getting it in tranches. So, anyways,
go on.
Yeah,
I'm excited about tranches now.
The first, let's just say, tranche was because I was the worst at everything that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have any boundaries. I wasn't good at home ever. I wasn't really at work ever really focused. But my work started going well, and I come from like a broke, or my background wasn't extremely privileged, small town USA, and so when things started going good, I started feeding that machine. Like I became obsessed with work.
Yeah.
I was like traveling with it, speaking on it. And I was having a lot of success. There's over 300 and something people that were in the same exact role that I was in. And I was, like number one a couple years in a row. And like just the ego was at a peak, but I just felt empty all the time. Like it's just like I was masking it with, I was drinking, almost forget about it. Like I feel like a bad parent. That's okay. I'll deal with it tomorrow. And like it just kept building and building and building. Mm-hmm. And what I realized is at the time there was nowhere really to go. Like, there was definitely books about work-life balance, but I didn't feel like they were really that good. And I didn't really have anybody saying it was more of like the why you should do it compared to how to do it. And so then I started just picking pieces away from other people. And then, like I told you, though, over time, it took almost 2 years before people started coming to me like, dude, I see your relationship with your kids and I envy that. Yeah. I wish I could say no to that work thing and go there. And like, it started like almost culturally changing my industry a little bit, where we were like the happy hour group, like we're financial advisors, right? And so like, it was always kind of seen as like the guys club. And it's because we were just all work 70 hours a week. Nobody else wanted to do that. But when I started shifting it, we started having family-oriented people that wanted to get into our business because they knew we would help them maintain their priorities.
Yeah.
And I started coining the line to our offices, I want you to be good at what you do, and I want you to be rich at home compared to being rich at what you do and broke at home. Because I see it in my clients, I see it in my friends, I see it in my family members where people are just broken individuals. And that's what's led to so much depression, anxiety, and counseling. And because people are like, I feel guilty all the time. They won't admit it until you like break down the barrier, but they're like, feel like I'm horrible at this. And so it kept building. And then somebody was like, you gotta write a book about it. I'm like, who's going to listen to me? I don't have credibility. I don't have, I've made so many gangs of mistakes in my life. Who wants to hear from me?
Yeah.
In regards to this.
That's why.
And that's kind of why it got into that was my friend Ben Newman, who's on the book. He said, have you written the book yet? I said, no. He goes, well, I'm going to connect you with somebody and you're just going to rip the Band-Aid off and go do it. And so then my why shifted to like, I definitely want to help people 100%. But I also, like from a legacy standpoint, I talk a lot in there in the book about it, is I hope the bank bounces my check the last day I'm alive if I live a full life. If I'm 90 and I hope that I burn through every cash living life. Like I like to live life, but I feel like so many people get stuck in like mental purgatory where they know they want to make changes, but they just don't ever do it. That's the chapter Book the Trip. And me just going and doing it, I wanted my words to be on paper. So if I got picked off this earth tomorrow, my kids knew why I was, and hopefully they can continue that message down to the next generation to create some level of a shift in the family dynamic going forward, because I don't want a bunch of trust fund babies in my family.
Yeah.
But I want a bunch of people that are family focused. That would be such an amazing legacy to leave behind. That's kind of why.
So that's the why.
That's the why.
Love that. And I think that here, give me your book. So just so everybody knows, Life Recalibrated. We'll have links in all of our posts so that you can find it. Escape autopilot living and find peace and purpose in the present. This is so much nicer than mine. Like I know that a lot of stuff is like, we have a lot of of similar like themes and conversations and everything. And it's so interesting because I have a friend, Reggie Brock, who probably is listening to this, and on the surface, we couldn't be more different from people looking in. Like, he's a former like preacher's kid and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And like super, I don't know, nice. Yeah. And I'm not like, I don't know. He just
you're raw.
Yeah. And like, but everybody's like, there's no way that those two guys are friends. Right. Yeah, sure. And we're like very good friends. Right. Mm-hmm. But what we speak about is like literally the same shit. Right. But that person over there is going to hear it when Reggie says it. Yep. And they're not going to hear it when I say it, because I'm going to tell them to fucking listen. And they're going to be like, oh, fucking earmuffs. I can't listen to those naughty words. It's like, look, settle down, kid. Right. Like, you'll be okay. But like, so I'm not going to relate. That person isn't going to relate to me because they don't respond to that type of communication. Yep. Right. But then somebody else is going to hear the same thing from me and not hear it from Reggie, because they're like, man, I need somebody to fucking talk to me like that. Right. 100%. And that's what's interesting about this, is that like none of us have original thoughts anymore. Right. No. We're all regurgitating things that we've read in other books or that we've lived just like other people did. But I think that what's important is that what we're doing is that we're making sure that people coming up are hearing the right things, right? Right. Because we spent all this time absorbing and reading and learning and fucking up and failing and getting our teeth kicked in and all this bullshit that fucking happens to us. And if we don't share it, you're a selfish motherfucker. Yep. And it's why I talk about all my fucking alcoholism and drug addiction and going to jail and fucking selling drugs and all the dumb shit that I did, right? I talk about it because I know there's somebody fucking watching that either just got done doing the same thing or is in the middle of doing the same fucking thing going, man, can I even get out of this? Yep. Right? Because I didn't think that I could. And I had to have somebody come and help me get the fuck out of what I was doing. Right. Yeah. And I think that reading books like yours and like mine and like all the other people that are good humans that are trying to help other people is so fucking powerful, because we have to lean on those people that have been through it already. Right. Right. I just think that it's super, super important. And I commend you for actually doing it and then busting my balls to actually get it done. Right. Yeah. Because I had all this shit on paper. Right. I just hadn't pulled the trigger to actually do it. Right. But you did. And then got hooked up with the same publishing company and everything. And like, loved the process. And super excited. Like, it's just, I don't know. I had the same thought when I got done too, though, in the middle, or not done, but like in the middle of it, I was super excited about when I'm gone, Tegan will always have that. Yep. Always. She'll always fucking have that. And it can live past me. But that's also why we talked about this when I came in, that I did the audiobook, because so many people reached out to me about writing the audiobook, which shocks me how many people reach out when the book goes published. Yeah. Right. And I'm like, I don't want an AI reading it. I don't want somebody that I don't know reading it. And so everybody's like, you got to have an author read audiobook. And I'm like, and I listened to Dave Grohl's book. I don't know if like Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl, like he did his audiobook on Spotify, and it's incredible. But I'm like, that's even better, because now they can hear me say it. They can hear like my authenticity. Now I have to do it. Dude, I tell you what, it took probably grand total like 12 hours of like content reading like out of your book. And really, why?
Just like reading the full book.
It took that long?
Oh yeah. Cause it probably took because every single time I talk fast. So I had to slow down and enunciate clearly. And I talk like I have mashed potatoes in my mouth. So like I'd be very clear. And then had to get edited, sent back, and then we went through all the little blurbs and did them again and all that. And I kept telling the guy, I'm like, dude, I hope this thing's fucked up a little bit. Like, it's me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want it to be perfect, but
right.
for their verbiage and for the audio version of it, they wanted it to be like exactly like out of the book. But my kids now get to hear it too.
Yeah.
So like I think about that because dude, if I was
now you sold me. Now I have to do it because just for Tegan's sake, I want to do it. Like 100%. And for her kids.
I mean, I'd sell the pants right off you. You know that. So I said I'd sell the pants right off you just like that. Bam.
You'd sell the pants right off it.
You said you sold me. I sell the pants right off.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, you did. You do sell me often. Everybody, Life Recalibrated, Daniel Ferguson. It is the cool thing is I love books of this size. Like this is my
100 pages
favorite.
about perfect.
Yeah, like this is my favorite size of book. I think mine is right about this length as well.
Yep.
But like I said, I was able to sit down and I literally knocked it out in 2 settings. I sat in my living room while my wife was watching TV and fucking read the first half. And the next day sat down and read the second half. I mean, you remember I texted you and I was like halfway through and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then the next day I was like, I'm done. It was fucking great. Like it's worth the read. And connecting with Dan on well, I guess he doesn't use social media, so don't fucking look for him on social media.
You won't find me.
No, you won't find him, but you'll find his book. So on Amazon, Life Recalibrated. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Daniel, thank you for being here.
Appreciate it, brother.
I really, really appreciate it. I tell everybody this, like one of the reasons that I started this show was it's a selfish way for me to get to sit with people for an hour.
I think it's
where
awesome.
you just have to fucking talk and get to know each other even better.
Right.
And we get to sit and talk for 4 hours sometimes at a time, but it's different than this, right?
100%.
It's different than this. And I appreciate it. I appreciate you. I'm glad that we found each other and we're able to become friends. I look forward to what the future holds for both of us.
I agree.
Everybody listening and watching, I appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you to our sponsors, SMA Support Services. You guys are the fucking best. If you need a VA, you got to check out SMA Support Services. Culture Movement, if you need an accountability group of high-level men that hold each other accountable. We read some books together. We just level up and grow so that we can grow our businesses and change our culture inside of our company. Check out Culture Movement and Exhale, the mastermind trip that we do once a year where we go scuba diving. And depending on which trip we are going on, you don't even have to be certified. We can get you certified there. So check that out. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. And remember, everybody, to be authentic. Get the fuck out.
You can't be authentic. Get the fuck out if you can't be authentic. Get the fuck out if you can't be authentic. Yeah. Swipes.